We are having this expression to share with you, and this was given in our last tutorial as an assignment. And in this expression, in today's tutorial, we are going to make sure to solve this out and to give another examples and solve more questions. And at the end of it, I will still be sharing with you a given example you can try to make sure you test your knowledge in terms of indices and logarithm. In fact, this is the expression here that we should simplify 4 to the power 3 times 4 to the power minus 2 divided by 4. In fact, if you look at this expression using the law of indices, it states that if you look here, it may look large or cumbersome, but using the law of indices is very easy. If you look at the fact 4 times 4 divided, that is 4 times 4, having the same base but different in power. The law of indices states that when you are multiplying two similar bases with different power, you simply add the power. Take one of the base and add their power. This law therefore states that, let's look at the law. It states that if, for example, a to the power m is multiplied by a to the power n, then it is just by taking just one of the base, which is a, then you just say m plus n. That is taking the base and adding their power is the law. So we are going to express it here by just making sure we take, that is 4 times 4, which is, we are going to take one of it, which is 4, 3 plus minus 2. So we still have it the same as if we express. We have therefore 4 to the power 3 plus minus 2 divided by 4. If we express this, what we are going to have is the fact that 3 plus minus 2, it means 3 minus 2, which is 1. Therefore, 4 raised to the power 1 is the same like 4 raised to the power 1 divided by this 4 again. 4 divided by 4. So it's the same like 4 divided by 4, which is equal to 1. So the expression is very easy, but looks cumbersome. But using the law of indices and expressing it, we have it very easily. Let's look at the next sample examples and solve it. Let's look at the next question. We have the next question to simplify 16 raised to the power 3 over 4. 16 raised to the power 3 over 4. In fact, if you look at this expression, it looks very cumbersome. It's the same like 16 raised to the power 3 over 4. But we need to use a simple sense knowledge here to easily get the expression. Now, looking at these, using the law of indices, you can see that we have 3 here and we have 4. But the truth issue here is that we need to make sure that we simplify 16 to the base which can carry a power 4, so that will be very easy for us to get the simple expression. Now, if we look at the given base, the only base which if we raise to a given power can give us 16 is 2 to the power 4. Because 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, that is 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, and 8 times 2 is 16. In other words, it is 2 to the power 4 that's going to give us the same 16. Therefore, we can still express this similar like 2 raised to the power 4, which is the same like the 16, still having the power 3 over 4. In other words, it still have the same power, but we have just re-expressed this. But note that because this one is power and because this one is also power, we can multiply their power. In other words, using the same base, we can now just express the power. And looking at this, what we are going to have now is the same now. We can combine their power here. Since they have just a single base, we are going to therefore say 2 to the power 4 times the other power, which is 3 over 4. And you are going to see that it has expressed so easily. And you can see that this 4 can cancel this 4. Or if you just re-express, what we have here is still the same like 2. 4 times 3 is 12. So we have 12 divided by 4. And 12 divided by 4 is 3. This is the same like 2 raised to the power 3. Because 12 by 4, if you divide 12 divided by 4, is going to be 3. So 2 raised to the power 3 is therefore 8. So we have 8 as the answer. So you can see that the expression is very simple. But if you look at it, it looks very cumbersome here. But using the law of indices, if we try to reapply this law of indices and try to make sure that we simplify the base and see how we can cancel out, then we are going to come out with the answer very easily. Let's look at the next question on this list. And of course, this question is a simplification question as well. The next is going to be 5 raised to the power 2x. That is 5 raised to the power 2x is equal to 125. In fact, this still apply with the same rule. If the base is 5 and the power is here, then the number which is here must be converted to the base of 5. In other words, which number are we going to use as 5 times what is going to give us 125? Because we must use it and convert this 125 to the base of 5. Therefore, 5 raised to the power what is going to give us 125? The question is 5 therefore raised to the power 5 raised to the power 3 is going to give us that, because 5 times 5 is 25 and 25 times 5 is going to give us 125. That's how we are going to easily have this expression. Therefore, 5 to the 2x must be equal to, we have to express this in the base of 5, and it's only going to be 5 raised to the power 3. And since the base have now been expressed to be the same in base 5, if the base are the same, then the power also must be the same. That's what the law of indices state. In other words, if 5 is equal to 5, then 2x must equal to 3 as their power. Therefore, we can say that 2x is equal to 3. For us to therefore have x, we have to divide both sides by 2 to have x to stand alone. Therefore, 2 divided by 2 also we divided by 2 here, so that the 2 will take off here, and we have x equal to 3 over 2. This therefore means that x is equal to 3 over 2 as fraction. That is what we have for this expression. Now, before I go, I'll be leaving you with this. I'd like you to try this particular one to test your knowledge on what we have solved today. So the question here is going to be 2 raised to the power x is equal to 7. I would like you to try this to test your knowledge, and we will solve this in the next tutorial. Make sure to subscribe and also enable the notification bell icon so that when we upload or update or have an update on the next tutorial, you'll be the very first to get notified and watch to learn new things directly from us. See you in the next upload, and bye-bye for now.